heard in a recent interview with Steven Spielberg that he's never seen any UFOs or UAPs or had any type of experiences like that, and how he feels he deserves to have one of those. And I 100% agree. I mean, come on, somebody needs to do something for him. Any extraterrestrials or alphabet agents listening to this, please at least throw Spielberg a bone. So Disclosure Day takes place in the present, albeit in this universe it's just a bit closer to World War III, and it centers on two characters, Daniel Kellner, a cybersecurity specialist, and meteorologist Margaret Fairchild. Kellner and his girlfriend are on the run after he steals a treasure trove of evidence of the existence of extraterrestrial life from the US government, while Fairchild's relatively normal life is completely upended when she inadvertently starts speaking an alien language on live TV. Just how exactly do these two characters fit into the larger narrative, and will Kellner be able to release the files to the public before he is stopped? And more importantly, should he release the files to the world? Can the human race handle knowing the answer to the age-old question, are we alone in the universe? Hey everyone, I'm the guy with no name. Thanks for stopping by the channel. Before we get on with the review, I did want to give you guys a big thank you to anyone who has subscribed to my channel thus far, because you helped me reach my goal of 400 subscribers. And to be honest, yes, there are lots of channels that have been doing this for a lot longer, who have hundreds of thousands, millions of subscribers, but honestly, the fact that I'm still a new channel and I've gotten to 400, there's 400 plus people who want to subscribe to watch more content is humbling. And I'm really looking forward to the future, getting to 500 subscribers and beyond. But yeah, just wanted to thank you guys. And if you haven't subscribed yet, watch this video, check it out. And if you enjoy it, show your support by liking and subscribing. That would be much appreciated. Disclosure Day is based on an original story by Steven Spielberg, who also produced and directed the film, and stars Emily Blunt as Margaret Fairchild, Josh O'Connor as Daniel Kellner, Colin Firth as Noah Scanlon, the CEO of a company called Wardex Corporation, which is secretly part of the US government and does not want the stolen information to leak to the public, Eve Hewson as Jane Blankenship, Daniel Kellner's girlfriend, whom he accidentally gets mixed up with all this, Coleman Domingo as Hugo Wakefield, a former Wardex employee who left the company in order to form a group of those who want nothing more than Disclosure Day to be a reality, and Wyatt Russell as Margaret Fairchild's boyfriend, Jackson. Okay, I'm gonna start off with my hottest take, and this may be controversial, maybe not as much as I'm thinking, maybe more people agree with me, but John Williams does the musical score for this movie, as he does with, many Steven Spielberg movies, if not all of them. I gotta say, I did not like the score to this one. I was not a fan. It wasn't terrible. I didn't hate it. And before you say I'm a hater, I love John Williams. I think he's probably the best to have ever composed any, musical scores to movies, by far. Like, he's done some of the most famous musical themes to movies that I could possibly think of. And my brain, just so you know, it's like wired to really hone in on the soundtracks and scores to movies. It really sticks with me, and I can, I can hear someone can play me like the first few notes of themes of most every movie I've seen, and I can go, oh, that's that. So I kind of am extra inclined to listen to it, and I gotta say, at best, the score was not memorable. I couldn't hum a single tune. There were two parts where I thought the score was good. There was one part kind of in the middle with some alien stuff going on, and the score evoked a sense of wonder and awe and mystery, maybe a little bit of trepidation. And then at the end, I thought near the climax, it really kind of brought home the emotions you're supposed to be feeling at that time. So 2 times I thought it did great. Other than that, it was just boring, it was not memorable, and then even sometimes I thought it clashed with the movie quite a bit. I don't know if he was the best person to do this, and I can't believe I'm even saying that, but I don't know, maybe it's just maybe he had an off day, maybe a bad day at the office, as people say, everyone has those, or maybe, he's done this for so many years, I don't know how many more tunes he can, pump out of him. I mean, he's gotta run out of ideas at some point, right? So I don't blame him at all. The best way I can describe it is, think like Indiana Jones. Whenever the Nazis come in, there's like the da 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 da. Hopefully they don't get demonetized or copyrighted for this, but it plays that. And whenever there's a villain on screen, it plays the villainous music. Well, it does this here, but it's kind of in the same way, and it worked with Indiana Jones because it's supposed to be in, take place in the 1930s. It's supposed to be kind of like more of a classic feel to a movie, more of a timeless feel, versus this is a sci-fi movie that takes place in 2026 in our world. It's very close to our world, so I don't know, the score just didn't fit sometimes. Another person who I unfortunately felt like had a bad day at the office was Steven Spielberg. The story was by him, and if you take a big step back, it's a pretty interesting story. It's a good story, and I understand why Steven Spielberg wanted to tell it. I mean, if you hear him talking about it in interviews, it's a story that's close to his heart, what he wants to tell. Unfortunately, though, the closer you step towards the story and the more you look at, the specifics, the certain plot points, some are great, some are brilliant. There's some reveals that I was like, oh, that's smart. I didn't actually, see that coming. But then there are other things about it that I'm like, I don't know why you made that decision. I don't know why that decision was made to go in that direction. And overall, I was kind of confused by the whole thing, especially by the end of it, which, another negative, the ending felt really abrupt. It was kind of let down, in my opinion. I was hoping for more, but also the dialogue was bad. No, actually, I take that back. At times it was really good, and then at times it was really bad, and it felt very uneven, where it almost felt like scene by scene varied. Like there were certain scenes where there's a big government meeting and I feel like everyone talking seems natural, and there's another government meeting that everyone's talking and they sound robotic and unnatural. So I don't know, it was really weird. Speaking of unnatural dialogue, Coleman Domingo, he was wasted in this role because he's basically a walking vomiter of exposition. I didn't really understand. I mean, maybe I missed something. I don't know. I don't think so because I watched the whole thing, but I mean, I didn't really understand his motivations for what he was doing. I didn't understand why he personally wanted to release the information. I understood Josh O'Connor and his motivation, but yeah, it just felt like he was there to move the plot forward and to give exposition to the characters or to the audience. And then finally, the pacing. I felt like the pacing was really all over the place. There were multiple times in the movie where I found myself bored, and then there were other times where I was thrilled and excited and, couldn't wait to see what happened next. And then it would get to a boring part again. And so it just felt like if they did some changes to the pacing, tweaked it somehow, and kind of evened it out a bit, that would have been much better. Another aspect of the story that made the pacing probably feel worse than it even was that when you kind of get, 20, 30 minutes into the movie where you can kind of tell, oh, okay, this is generally what's going to happen. Here's the main plot. It starts to get cyclical, like it starts to get a bit monotonous. I'm not going to say any more than that, but just saying that I wish there was a little more variety in some things that happened in the story. There's still plenty of twists and turns. I wouldn't say it's like ultra predictable or anything like that, but you can predict a decent amount of this movie when you get to a certain point. Don't get me wrong, Disclosure Day isn't a terrible movie or even a bad movie. It's not a movie that I walked out going, what was even the point of that? I understood the point of the movie, and on top of that, even if I didn't, there was a handy little monologue in there that hammered me over the head about what the point of the movie was. Felt like Steven Spielberg was talking directly to the audience, but it's not like I regret watching the movie. I was interested in seeing it since it's Steven Spielberg and aliens, and I'm no longer curious. I saw Disclosure Day and I didn't hate it. I just don't care to ever see it again. And I did end up seeing it with my wife, but pretend that I didn't, and maybe we're looking on streaming and my wife goes, oh, Disclosure Day, I always wanted to watch that. I'm not gonna be like, oh, I would never pick it, but I'll watch it again with you. I'm actually gonna tell her, you can watch it if you really want to, but just so you know, I didn't like it that much. I don't think you're missing out at all. I think it might be a waste of your time, actually. And I would tell any friends, unless they were just super interested. And like I said, this movie is for some people, I'm sure. I mean, there are people that are gonna like this, but I feel like the majority of the audience is gonna feel at least underwhelmed. Disclosure Day is not a bad movie, but I wouldn't waste my time seeing it in the theaters unless you had an extra fistful of dollars. Thank you guys as always for watching. Let me know in the comments if you've had a chance to see Disclosure Day, and do you agree or disagree with my thoughts? Also, what's your favorite First Contact movie? I'd be really interested to know and interact with you guys in the comments section. But if you enjoyed this video, check out my review I did recently of Masters of the Universe. This is the guy with no name, signing off.